Okay, so if you've not met me before, you've not watched my channel before, hello, my name is Chloe and I love to make life difficult for myself. Hello there, so today I am taking on probably the most stupid idea that I've ever had. But you know what? It had to be done. I've made art with cheap supplies, I've made art with fake supplies, old supplies, expensive supplies, I've even made art with the same colour. But I have never, ever made art with every single supply that I own. Everyone thumbs this video up if you pity me or you like my stupid ideas, because this video's taken me a really long time and I'd appreciate it. So to take on this ginormous feat, I had to decide what I could make with every single supply, because I knew that I'd be using basically every single colour of art supply that I owned, as well as every single medium basically. Like, I don't have every form of medium, like I have watercolour, acrylic, coloured pencils, markers, and I had to make something that would lend itself to all of those mediums and colours. So I went onto the Artamino app, which is this app I have on my phone. It's just like this really awesome art community app that's got loads of different artists, like digital artists, traditional artists, mixed media artists, DIYers, and there's just so much for artists on there, and people are always willing to kind of give you motivation and feedback. So I went on there, made a post, I said, hey look, I've got all of these art supplies, what can I make? And I got some really good suggestions. I got some sort of Disney suggestions, and I got a few people say about tropical birds, tropical islands, fantasy. So I thought it would be fun to kind of combine all of those things. Now before I begin, I would like to quickly mention that Artamino is kindly sponsoring this video today. I'll talk a bit more about them later on, but for now I'll leave a link to the app in the description. And I highly recommend it if you're an artist, because it's just a nice way to find a community. So don't worry, my hand is fine, I've not hurt myself. I had a slight argument with a jar of ink and the ink won. Anyway, let's get into this as quick as possible. First drawer, we've got pencils, mechanical pencils, blending stamps, don't know why these are even dirty because I never use them. Pencil sharpeners, great. We have refills, and of course we have some hot glue gun stick refills, but no hot glue gun, so they're basically useless. Next drawer, we have our watercolor and ink drawer. This was the one that I had an argument with, as you can see. Oh, it's fantastic. This is brand new. My Winsor & Newton set, which I would open if I could do so with one hand. Then I got my Dr. P.H. Martins, which are my favourite watercolours, highly recommend. Next drawer we have all of these. Also this crayon thing, which my friend Miranda sent me. Next drawer we have this is our marker drawer. So I've got some brush markers and, let me see, 11 Copic markers, which I do have 12. You know, not trying to brag, but I do have 12, but one of them appears to be missing for some reason, so I'm really glad right now that I don't have more than 11 Copic markers, because imagine how long that would take me if I actually had about 500 of them. Then I have these brush markers by Arteza, and then I've got these Staedtler fine liner pens, which I actually used last week. So yeah, that's that drawer. This drawer we have a paper cutter, all of my super cheap acrylic paint. Basically my last art supply drawer, this is full of like the more expensive acrylic, even though these aren't like expensive, but like the bigger ones, the Liquitex style golden paint. This drawer is filled with tax receipts for tax season, and this last drawer is literally just like a small amount of sketchbooks. And this is everything. I'm dreading this. Okay, so initially the plan was to have all of the supplies that I hadn't used on my left, and then once I'd used them, put them on the right. Then you could visually see that I was using the supplies and the pile was getting smaller. Didn't quite work out this way though. As you can see, you can barely see any of the supplies, so you're just gonna have to take my word for it. I promise you that yes, I did in fact use all of the art supplies. You just can't 100% of the time see that, but I promise you that I did. Now, initially, the thought of this was actually worse than doing it. Yes, it took me a long time, and coming up with the concept and the idea for it took a little while. But to me, using a supply can be a tiny little dot, or it can be a stroke. So what I actually did here was, as you can see with Stitch, I acrylic painted him, it was with a bunch of different blues, looked fine. Then I took some of my blue Prismacolor pencils and I kind of went over to give like a little bit of highlight and shadow, and I used a Copic marker on his ears. And you know what? They went together so nicely, and I never ever ever would have thought to use Copic markers on top of acrylic paint, or pencils on top of, Copic markers and acrylic paint. It worked really nicely, and it allowed me to be like, hey, I've used this supply now. I thought, I'm going to have so many of the same colour, how am I supposed to use all of these supplies? But I managed to in the end. Also, as you can see, I changed the angle of the camera, didn't realise I was in it, so you can see me in my giant yellow fluffy Winnie the Pooh poncho. That was a mistake, didn't mean to show that, sorry about that, but as you can see, the pile on my left is gradually and very slowly getting smaller, and the pile on the right is getting bigger. It was a good enough way for me to try and do this, so it worked okay. Now, something I want to talk about a little bit about this piece is I so want to one day be licensed somehow to sell Disney artwork. But I think that something important to do is, obviously I'd have to work really hard and I'd have to really make more art and get better at it. But something that I really feel that I lack in with my art is making a story. So what I wanted to do with this particular piece was not actually paint a Disney scene that already existed. I wanted to make one of my own. Now, if you've never watched Lilo and Stitch, basically he's an alien. He escaped to planet Earth to escape his own planet because he was like a bad alien. And he basically escaped in a little pod, crash landed on Earth, and these other aliens were after him. So he pretended to be a dog in a dog shelter. Lilo adopted him, and it's a really cute story. And it follows him from being quite a sort of nasty, mean alien to this really, really sweet creature that's trying to be more human. So I thought it would be fun to make a piece where he's on, his Hawaiian island, and it's his birthday. It's his first experience of a birthday on planet Earth, and he's got a little balloon attached to his ear, and he's surrounded by palm trees. He's got the tropical vibe going on there, and I just thought it'd be really cute to try and make a story. As you can see, I'm kind of working on the sky as well. This was with watercolors and inks, and it's not really the best. Inks and watercolors don't work too well on acrylic paint or blend into acrylic paint all that well. So I did what I could, and I wanted to give it a more sunsetty sort of vibe. Try my best. As you can see, my massive ponytail keeps getting in the way. Apologies for that. But yeah, overall, I'm actually, I am quite happy with this. I'm not going to lie. It's something I want to do more of. Sort of try and create more unique storytelling scenes, whether it be Disney themed or characters of my own. I'm trying to develop some of my own characters as well, but for this particular piece I thought it'd be fun to make something recognisable, and yeah, I managed to use all of the supplies, which I'm so happy about. But yeah, I did it, yay. Sorry about the fluffy yellow poncho and the massive ponytail, but I hope you like it. What do you think? I'd love to hear your opinion, and yeah, I will be posting this on Artemino soon, so if you do join, make sure that you head over there and look at it. Okay, so yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this very lengthy, drawn out painting. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. What do you think of how it turned out? I'm really happy with how it looks so far. Obviously, I've not finished it at this moment in time, but I've got severe hand cramp currently. I hope that goes away. So before I go, I'll talk to you a little bit more about Artemino. I know I've recommended this to you in the past and so many of you love it, so I want to talk to you a bit more about it. Now, Artemino is, as I said, a really cool art community app. I really love it because it's got everything. You can post your art there, you can discover new art. You can also, which is really cool, get your art featured on the like explore page. Now there's literally an amino for everything, even bullet journaling, which as someone that's just started bullet journaling, I think this is going to be very beneficial to me. Now Artamino is basically a modern art community for like social artists. You can use it on your phone, your tablet, and it's just a wonderful way to really sort of find and get to know other artists. You can chat about artwork, you can get feedback, you can participate in polls, contests. What I really like about it is it has little different sections for each individual type of artist. So you can always get specified feedback for what you're working on. Sometimes I do chat rooms on there as well, so if you want to join Artamino, make sure you follow me there and we can chat about art next time I do it. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I challenge anyone that makes art and YouTube videos that's watching right now to at least think about attempting this challenge, because it was actually quite fun, and make sure you tweet it to me if you do so that I can see it. So thanks again for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed the video. Take care of yourselves and I will see you in the next video.